Welcome to the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast, where being a badass has less to do with what you wear and what music you listen to, and everything to do with whether you've got the thriving online business of your dreams. I'm your renegade thinking Harvard Law grad turned online entrepreneur host, Bobby Klink. In my years building my thriving business, the most important lesson I've learned is that being a badass online marketer isn't about secret strategies or ninja tactics. It's about doing the basic stuff right and showing the F up. So each week here on the show, you'll get clear, easy to execute guidance on how to build your online business and a swift kick in the ass or two to make sure you're getting it done. Hey there, welcome to this Friday live edition of the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Klink, and I'm excited for today's show, even though I may upset some of my friends here. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Specifically, we're going to be talking about why I believe that conversion copywriters are ruining email marketing. And before you get mad at me if you're one of those conversion copywriters, not all conversion copywriters are causing this problem, but a lot of them are. And I want to talk about why that is and what we should be doing instead. So that's what we're chatting about today. But before we get into it, if you're with me here live or listening to this anytime in the week after it goes live, did you hear? You can get a sneak peek inside my signature email marketing course, Badass Email Marketing. That's right. My team and I have decided to let people have access to Module 1 for free until August 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Module 1 of my course is not one of those like wimpy, fluffy things. It's actually pretty meaty. We go into things like the purpose of email, the 5 phases of email marketing and what the purpose and goal of each phase is, and then also how to find your personal email voice. Now, there's also stuff in there about technical stuff like segmenting your list and cleaning your list and what to look for in an email service provider. That stuff's good too. But the lessons about the purpose, the phases, and the finding your voice are critical. They really are the base of email marketing. And you can get access absolutely free by heading to bobbyklink.com/peak, P-E-E-K. So with that, I'm going to dive in to why it is that conversion copywriters are ruining email marketing. And it's funny, I was having a discussion with my team about this, and one of them who considers herself a conversion copywriter and loves writing email made this point. She actually said it better than me. She said, yeah, it kind of is the hammer nail problem. And that's exactly it. Conversion copywriters view everything through the lens of making a sale. And when I say making a sale, it's not always about literally money changing hands. But conversion copywriters are trained to look at things from the perspective of getting a conversion. Everything is about conversions. In other words, it's direct response marketing. So this is why you hear people talking about email marketing and really sitting there talking so much about click-through rates and all of these different kind of metrics, because to a conversion copywriter who's trained basically as a direct response marketer, everything is about, did someone take a direct response? Did they do something in response to what I did? And this is a broader problem, not just in email marketing, but in our space more generally. And I'm going to talk about this in a bit in future episodes, and also in some of my Bobby Ruins marketing lives. I'm going to talk about this as well, which if you don't know about those, I go live on my page at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Mondays for Bobby Ruins Marketing, a cheeky, fun look at things that people are doing wrong in the marketing space. But the bigger problem is that so many of us have become fixated on direct response marketing. And direct response marketing is great. This is where you put an offer out there and then someone responds right away. And it's great, right? Because if you're doing direct response marketing, you can kind of immediately see a return on investment or immediately see a metric that is something is doing, kind of coming and helping you. The problem is that direct response marketing has its limits. The people who are truly successful as entrepreneurs are not only doing direct response marketing. They're doing direct response marketing, but they're also doing something that you might think of as branding marketing. When you look at the online entrepreneurs, the thought leaders, all of those people who you truly admire, and you honestly ask the question, you'll kind of think, yeah, they're not always trying to get me to do something. Sometimes they're just building brand equity. And that's the problem fundamentally that we have in our market is too many people are ignoring that piece because you can't quantify it. You can't necessarily say, okay, I built brand equity and that I can track with these metrics and I can do all that. You just can't. There's no metric that you can track in real time about building brand equity, about building goodwill, about doing those things. But what I can tell you is brand equity and goodwill are incredibly important. In my business, we make sales every single day that have nothing to do with direct response marketing. In other words, somebody goes over to the Googles, types Bobby Klink or Bobby Klink legal templates. They are then taken to my website and they buy. None of that has to do with funnels. None of that has to do with conversion, copywriting. None of that has to do with any of that stuff. That's all about the goodwill that I have built up over the last 2.5 years. And so this is where we're coming back to email marketing. Conversion copywriters, and let me step back, and this is kind of a broader problem that I should explain a bit, where this is why I'm kind of different than most people teaching email marketing. Because most people teaching email marketing fall into one of two camps. Either they are or started as a conversion copywriter. So in other words, they started by writing sales pages, writing promo emails for people and all that. So their mind is all in this direct response world. The other people teaching it are people who work at funnel companies, basically. And I don't just mean funnel companies, but I mean people who work at entities that are very much like, okay, we're going to sell them with this at the beginning, and if they don't buy that, we're going to put them in this funnel to try to sell them that. And if they don't buy that, we're going to put them in this funnel to sell them that. And if they don't buy that, we're going to... And so it's all about the selling, and that's all they're doing all the time. And that's how they view email. So you can kind of see how those two camps of people, they view it all from the lens of selling. Well, I'm not a conversion copywriter. That's not how I started, although I'm pretty darn good at conversion copy these days. And I'm also not someone in a funnel company. I don't believe in launching and trying to make money and all that every which way all the time. I became good at email marketing because it was my way of selling the most boring thing in the world, legal templates. And I make this joke that one of the things I do in my emails is I kind of establish myself as the Lieutenant Columbo, if you get the reference, like the kind of bumbling detective, the bumbling entrepreneur who stumbles into things. But it's kind of true here. Like, I just started doing email the way I knew how to market generally, the way I knew how to build connections with people more generally, and it worked. And that's why with a list that is a fraction of the size of many other people's, I have a thriving multiple six-figure business. That's why I leaderboard affiliate promotions when I decide to go all in. That's why I've had this success, because it's not the size of my list, it's the connection with my list. And so I discovered that the real strength of email marketing is nothing to do with conversions. And this is the thing. In the course of marketing, kind of the life cycle of a customer or the life cycle of someone who follows your brand, you really should only be selling to them a few different times. Maybe you have kind of an immediate sale on a tripwire or something like that, right, when they come on your list. But other than that, it's promo time. Like, that's when you're selling, when you're actively promoting something. The rest of your time, you're not actually selling anything. And I'm going to suggest to you that instead of thinking of your weekly emails as trying to convert them to do something, often it would be click here to go watch my video show, or click here to listen to my podcast, or click here to read my blog post, which, by the way, I put those calls to action in all of my emails. But I don't view the purpose of those emails as getting those clicks. The purpose of those emails is to build a connection, because that's what's missing from people's email marketing, but also their marketing more generally. They're missing out on the fact that when you build a connection with your audience, with your weekly emails, with the ongoing stuff that we do week in and week out, that's the magic of email marketing. And honestly, it is magic. When you do that, that's when you hear people say things like, I don't really read hardly anybody's emails, but I always read yours. That's when, like, some of the people who were in my first group that went through Badass Email Marketing recently posted, a woman, Sharon, posted like a response she got from one of her subscribers who said, basically, with all the emails I get, I unsubscribe from almost all of them, but there's something different about yours, and I appreciate that. That something different is about building a connection. It's about being a human and simply treating your subscribers as human beings, not as potential conversions, not as potential clicks, not as someone who might go and be a podcast download or a blog read or anything like that, but just kind of having fun. And what I mean by having fun is providing a way where they can get to know you, where they can feel connected to you, where they kind of feel like your friend. And when you go and take me up on my free sneak peek of Badass Email Marketing, and if you weren't here for the beginning, you can get a sneak peek until next week of my program, the module 1 of my program. And in that, you will get access to one of the things I talk about is that you should think about your emails to your list, for the most part, as how would I email a friend? What would I say to a friend? How would I format emails if I was talking to a friend? How would I talk in emails to a friend? And if you take that approach with your email, instead of being a conversion hammer looking for something to sell or click or get a conversion on, you'll actually build this kind of deep connection and deep, togetherness with your list. I have people on my list who I've never met in person because they've never been in a live event with me, but who I email with back and forth. They'll email me a question and they do that and we chat. And I guarantee you, our conversations are like we are friends. And you know what that does? When they have a need for a product that I offer, you damn well know they're going to buy it from me. It doesn't matter if someone else offers it cheaper. They're not even looking. Those people on my list who feel like I'm a friend, when they need a legal template, they're not shopping me. They're not like trying to find the Walmart, who is the cheapest legal template seller out there. They're like, well, I'm going to go to Bobby. Just like you would do. You would go to your friend. But not only that, when I use the launch model, I would have people come and say, hey, when you open the door, I want to buy. Hey, when you open the door, I want to buy. And I had all of that stuff happening because I built these connections with people. And I had that happening because I didn't try to sell to people all the time. And here's one of the funniest things that I thought about. I was thinking about this morning as I was preparing for this podcast. People on my list, a lot of them have said, that I don't sell. Well, I'm here to tell you, I actually sell to my list probably as much or more than most online marketers. But it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way because most of my emails aren't about selling. I'm not trying to sell them on a click. I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I'm just telling them a fun story so they get to know Bobby. And as a result, when I do sell, it doesn't bother them. It doesn't feel like a pushy salesman. Now, there are some people who probably think I'm a pushy salesman, but they just don't like being sold to. And all of this is only possible because I have a singular focus outside of promotion period, my focus is on connection, not conversion. Now, you can go the way of conversion copywriters and try to convert people in every single email. Try to get the click, try to get the whatever. And if you get to be really stinking good at conversion copy, I mean, if you just dial in your conversion stuff and do all of that, and I mean, you can write the perfect bullet and the perfect headline and the perfect everything. You can play up the pain perfectly, and you can kind of agitate it and do all of those things as a wonderful conversion copywriter can. You're going to make sales, but you're not going to make long-lasting customers necessarily. And that's the power of connection. Is I'm not focused on making the first sale. I'm focused on building a relationship with a customer where when they're ready, whatever their need is, if I have something that can help them, they're going to buy. It could be one legal template to start, and then they buy my template library, and then maybe they need email marketing, so they take my email marketing course. And when they get to the point of group coaching, maybe they join my group coaching program. I'm focused on that entire relationship. And what I can tell you is that my list outperforms the lists that are run by the people who are focused on sell, sell, sell. Now, they might make more money up front than I do because I don't try to sell people. A lot of times I'm not even trying to sell something right up front when someone comes on my list. But what I can tell you is that over the long term, my customers stick. And my customers come back, and my customers send people my way, and I've built up this goodwill. And so now my business has a machine that's running day in and day out that has nothing to do with funnels. So I'm going to encourage you, instead of focusing on conversion for most of your emails, focus on connection. Conversion should be happening, and you should be focusing on that during promo periods, including when you're inviting people to webinars, if you're doing webinars, when you're asking them to show up, when you're selling. All of those emails are about conversion. But outside of that, I want you to take a different viewpoint. I want you to ask yourself, how can I connect with my audience? If you'll do that, you will have way more success over the long term. So that's my call to action. And again, if you want help with how to do that, and you're listening to this live or within the first week that it's live, you can, jump into Module 1 of my course, Badass Email Marketing, for free, where I go into the purpose, the goals, the phases, and really help you understand and develop your brand voice, your email voice, so that people can hear you when you are writing an email to them. Head over to bobbyklink.com/peak, P-E-E-K, and you can get access. So that's it, and I'll see you again next week. That's it for this episode of the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast. Make sure to tune in next time. And in the meantime, go out and build the badass business of your dreams.